You're listening to Truly Unruly with Marcus and Jessica Trufant. What's up, everybody? Happy New Year. It is Truly Unruly. My name is Kel with Marcus and Jessica Trufant, and this is our first episode of 2022. And with that said, we were like, why not start it off with a bang? So we have brought back to the show clinical sexologist, friend of the show, Tiffynee. What up, girl?
Hello.
Woo! Yeah.
Welcome back.
I know. I've been waiting. To be honest with you, I'm kind of bored. That was fun.
Yes. Shit. I forgot my pearls so I could clutch them.
For this show. I think you should be good.
For the
2022 is
episode.
going to be a good one. No clutching pearls in 2022. Just let it all out, right?
Unless they're in your ass, right?
Shazam.
Okay.
Right.
Well, all right. Well, damn, that caught me off guard. Shit. Well, we wanted to talk today to Tiffynee about how to spice things up in your sex life going into the new year. You know, folks always say new year, new me. So, and I always like to say, life is too short to have bad sex. So that's why Tiffany's here,
It's
right?
fair. Yes.
Very,
Yeah.
very fair.
Tiffynee, bring us
So-
to the promised land.
You got to have bad sex, though, to know what good sex is.
You do.
Do you though?
I don't know if I stand by that.
I think sometimes we don't even recognize that, when you guys probably first had sex, or when me and my husband first had sex. We were just talking about this the other day. And I was like, I'm kind of glad God blocked it where it wasn't amazing. It was just like, and I remember after the first time we had sex, I was like, what do you rate it? And he gave me an 8. I had never gotten an 8 before. And I was like,
What? You got an 8 your first time?
An 8 out of a 8 scale, right?
an 8 out of a 10. And let me tell you, I go for 10s all the time. So I was very appalled.
I was going to say you were disappointed.
Okay.
Crap.
Okay. But no one's perfect,
I'm
right?
like,
No one is perfect.
8 out of 10.
So just like those 8s, and if you have a partner that's working with you, there's a little bit of this, a little bit of
what would you rate our first time?
For me, and my house and where I was, for me, it was a 10. But I know we've had these conversations, and I wasn't exactly where I needed to be. I wasn't focused.
Well, then how the fuck was it a 10?
For me, it was always a 10.
See,
I was lost in the sauce, for a lack of better term.
Same thing. I wouldn't have rated ours a high score either. So it's funny that I got an 8, but I was like, you were a little below that. But okay, we're working. We're building.
Wait a minute. So what would you rate me
Oops.
in the beginning?
Oh, man. I mean, to be honest, it was so weird. I mean, it wasn't weird, but it was like, I don't know.
That's
well, to be honest,
That's disrespectful.
well, guess what? For a long time, it really wasn't about me. So, or in the beginning. So I'm not sure. Ooh, that's fucked up. No, it's not. I'm not sure if it was a 10 right away.
It wasn't.
That's good.
Yeah. I said for me, it was a 10, and I said that to be funny, but I was not focused on others at the time, or even focused on you. I was just kind of about myself.
Were you pumping and going?
I was a different human being at that time.
He's pumping and going, Jess? Yeah. Okay, I get it.
It was pumping and going. But just pumping.
You're getting yours, and then you're up out of there, and you're done.
Yeah.
I started to get mad after a while.
Yeah,
It was like, okay,
I was
really,
one of those
sir?
guys. Yeah, I don't. The females. It ain't about the females. It's about me. And you know what I'm saying.
Shit.
So I was, but I've grown. I've grown into a pleaser.
And look, I
first.
stayed because I should have been like, I should have just let you have them other hoes.
Easy.
Ooh.
You know, Phil,
I don't know if we're talking about that today, but we can
It always goes back
Surely
to
get
that.
back
It's
to that.
always something to talk about. But anyways,
It's a good
good tips so
topic,
far.
though, because if you think about it, if it wasn't for them, right? I think about I call my past sexual experiences field research. I can't be a sexologist if I don't know what wasn't active and stuff like that. But even in that, right? You're looking at it from a point of view where you're like, I'm glad that you were a pump and go back then, because there's no way I would have been able to commit to you had you been a pleaser to everyone.
Ooh.
Now that's heavy. That is very heavy. I've never thought about it like that.
That's pretty deep. If you're pleasing everyone.
Right.
Right?
She was different. She was different, so I had to step it up.
See, I was different.
She was so different. I just had to.
What the fuck was different?
Well, if you want me to go into detail.
Okay, never mind. Okay, so anyways, moving on.
So going into the new year, there are still, like, I know things out there that people just don't do. So for instance, like, I know in 2022 that there are women out here that don't perform oral sex on their man and won't do it and refuse to do it. And there's the other way. There's men, especially like in the hood. I never just growing up, like, black men, like you didn't talk about performing oral sex on a woman. It was almost seemed as like you were weak. Like, right. I remember a friend of mine, I asked, like, he told me, he was like, I would never give a woman oral sex. And I was like, why? He goes, because that's me giving them the power. And I was like, what? And it didn't make any sense to me. I was like, who hurt you? You know, but it was
the rap songs and stuff too, Kel. It was the culture.
Like,
it was
bro. Like, what happened? Something happened. Like,
and you're not tough if you're.
That's his personal issue, because you're not giving her power. You are giving pleasure.
A lot of guys were like that, though, Kel.
Me?
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah, there's a lot.
I would second that. I would second that. And it was the time. It was an error. So yeah,
there was definitely a time. Like, I remember when that was just like not the thing. What do people in those situations do where it's like, I get it. It's like, okay, maybe you should have known before you got with the person, but it's like you thought because you married them or you have kids with them that you would have this more intimate and just open relationship to just trying new things. Like, what do those people do?
I think that it's a lot comes with lack of education. Because you get people that are like, you'll hear people that think that if you eat a woman out, that, like you said, the power thing, because of you are eating them, right? You're eating a piece of them, and you're literally swallowing that stuff. Like, that's going into your. How it is that when it's coming to a sexual or physical connection, those are some ways that people get pleased. And a lot of people don't even ask people like, well, why do you like this? Or is this something that you want? You know, in my field research days, I wouldn't let guys do that to me. To me, that was something that I wasn't trying to connect with you on that level. A lot of guys that have talked to me or, you know, stuff like that, they would be like, Tiff doesn't kiss, Tiff doesn't da-da-da-da. Like, it's hard for you to get to that level to me because that's how sacred I think that is. And it's just like, I don't want everybody's mouth on there, and I don't want everybody tasting me, because then if you think about it, even in a sense of a spiritual way, then people have a piece of you in them. And it's just like sex. And so to me, one of the things why I think people don't do it is this lack of, like I said, lack of education. So you're scared of it. You get this, and it's like, what? Like, and then you got people like, well, I don't know how to do it. Well, you should ask the person how they like it. And we talked about this last time. Instead of just coming out of the gate, like, you're not going to go in the kitchen and bake a German chocolate cake and not look up the recipe.
Yes.
Right. Do your homework, huh?
Right?
Do your homework.
And so a lot of people don't even recognize it's live homework. You got that person right there next to you. You can tell that person how they didn't do something right, but you can't ask them how you can do something right for them. And so to me, it's more of just like, it's having a conversation. And the people that don't do that, and trust me, I've come across some clients. They're like, girl, and I'm like, if you're not doing it, somebody else is, or they're enticing that person to want that.
Woo-hoo.
And you have to recognize that some people don't want that. So there's some people like, okay, I don't even need that. That's not something that I want or whatever, but I want it. I like it. But it's also, there's people that when you do it, they don't know how to do it. You know what I'm saying? So here's my little puppet pussies.
Oh, nice.
And these all come in different sizes, and I make these, right? But just come in all different sizes and all different
I assume that's not to scale,
do you
right?
practice?
To actual size and shape.
You
Asking for a friend, right?
Hilarious.
That's not to scale.
These are only different sizes because I'm in the midst of about to mass string these and put them out, mass production.
Okay, dope. All right.
And so we were trying to figure out what actually looks good. But one of the things people don't recognize is they don't know the anatomy of the pussy. And so you get a lot of guys that will pay attention to the clitoris.
Mm-hmm.
And so when they get down there, that's all they're sucking. And this is only 1/3 of the clitoris.
Right.
So if you don't recognize that, you could also be down there like people that finger bang and stuff like that. Like you could be doing something and you're like, this is not pleasurable for me. So I would prefer you not do that to me. So move to another area. And some people won't even say that. They'll do stuff like this. You know, you'll start and it's like, okay, or you'll bring that person up if you don't like that and stuff like that. Instead of saying, and in the middle of seconds, not saying, don't do it like that. That's not the right time. But having a conversation with somebody saying, hey, when you were doing that, do you think that, because right here, underneath here, if you were to remove the skin, this is where the rest of the clitoris is. And so these things, they're called vestibules. And these are part of your clitoris underneath that. So if you were to take the skin off and you press down, you can feel the bulbs on the vagina. If you ever wonder why women like either when they're masturbating to lay down or pressure, it's because the pressure on the clitoris creates the stimuli for an orgasm.
I'm down here feeling around. Okay.
Slower, Jess. Go a little bit slower.
Oh, okay.
Joking, guys. Joking, but not really. But
and then a lot of people don't even know, like, and this hole is a little different. So this is the vagina hole. And so people don't know that this is the vulva. This is the vagina, the hole that you put it in there. But when you go in there and you're putting in there, you're going up to put your fingers underneath this and you'll feel like a walnut kind of shape. That's the G spot. If you put pressure on that, and when I say pressure, not your nails and digging them in there. You should not be doing.
Ouch.
Right? You should be creating pressure where it's like, and it's a hard pressure. And if you get her moving and gyrating and stuff like that, you'll create some pleasurable orgasms and some squirting.
So it's really communication. I think is what I'm hearing. It's about the communication on both sides of what you like and did you like that or can I do better or
you have to be comfortable too. I think that's a lot of it too. You
and I know that's tough in new relationships. As a young man, I wouldn't, and some men don't care.
And with your sexuality, you got to be comfortable and like
you got to be comfortable with your
all across the board,
all kinds of stuff. And if you don't know about certain things, like if you don't know that your discharge is not always clear, or if you don't know that there's certain things that can take your pH off, you'll feel insecure. And then you won't even have that conversation with your partner because now two people are ignorant about the body that they are trying to pleasure.
Ladies, get your mirrors out.
Right.
Look at your parts.
I mean, and guys start asking questions is what I'm hearing. Yeah, just start asking questions.
Right,
and, you know, it'll take
and I feel like especially like with your partner, like of all people, like that should be the person you should be the most comfortable having that conversation with, you know?
Easier said
but
than
my
done,
thing,
though, in a lot of relationships, I think, right?
But that's weird though. But it's like if you've been committed to somebody though, Marcus, for like, let's say you've been with them for 5 years, like you've had a lot of sex within that 5 years.
Right.
You kind of know each other inside and out enough, I guess, to be able to have that conversation. I would think.
I get it, though.
Tiffany, am I right or am I wrong?
I think you can be right, but there's couples that don't do that because what happens is you go into a relationship and you just start having sex. So it's kind of like buying something from IKEA, not reading the instructions and putting it together and hoping that it looks good. And so sometimes if you put something together from IKEA and it's functional, you'll still continue to use it even though it's not working. And that's what people do with sex, relationships. For 5 years, me and you can be having the same sex. We don't have sex outside the bedroom. We da-da-da-da. And because it's pleasurable for those moments, we have avoided conversations to evolve us. And a lot of people don't even recognize, like, to prosper. Prosper means to move forward. People only attach it to money. Our relationship should be prospering. It should be moving forward. Our sex life should be prospering. It should be moving forward. So what does that look like to us? And are we mature enough to have that conversation? And what's a blessing is that this type of platform is created for people to check in and say, oh my God, this is a conversation that I'm having that I need to have. And we're giving tips on how to have it. So I think it can happen. It's just not happening.
Right. Going into the new year, I know there's like been, and maybe I just see more of this because I live in Las Vegas, but like there is like this cultural shift where I feel like people are becoming more open about their sexuality and just more open about the things that they're into. And like, do you think this whole kind of wave of like, and we see it like on shows like on TLC and stuff like that, but like these like open relationships, do you think that is healthy? And do you think that actually really like can work for a long-term relationship?
It's funny because there's a show on Netflix. It's called Easy. You guys should check it out. And it's like just short stories about relationships. And one of the things is about an open relationship where the wife wanted the open relationship and the husband was like, man, no, but if this is what you really want, we can do this. And he struggled with it. And so he tried, and she was really, what she really just wanted was to get fucked by somebody else. And after
not so much for the relationship growth, that's tough. Right.
And after she got that experience, what happens, women don't understand this because we only see men going from woman to woman sometimes. Men are attached as the same in the same way we are. And so what happens is that he got in a relationship with another girl. They didn't have sex right away. They built a relationship. They started saying, I love you. And when the wife was like, no, I don't want to do this no more. He's like, no, I want to have both of you now. And so, and she had to keep that because she opened that door. And the thing about it is that you can be open, but I'm going to tell you this, at some point you're going to want privacy.
Right.
And that boundaries, I think everybody experiences that. And when it comes
to, if you're going to be open, then the boundaries, right? Yeah.
I feel like it's almost something that you both have to come into beforehand, saying that we both want an open relationship. I don't think it works one-sided.
Talk about the details. That's really what it is. Talk about it first.
Right, but it's weird because
there has to be ground rules.
You don't really know.
You have to be together on it. Just like Tiffynee said, the woman just wanted to be with somebody else. But if it's a mutual thing and you guys are approaching this, on the same level, on the same page, then I guess it could work. I'm not with all that, but I could understand if somebody.
But if you're married, why would all of the sudden you go, you know what?
It works for some people though. That's how they spice up their.
It's like having your cake and eating it too, kind of.
No, I think it's just a thing.
I want to fuck other women, but I still want to have you available, or other men, but I still need you for that.
I think what it is, and this is just my like shot in the dark. I can be completely wrong. It's like I look at it like this. It's like I feel like there are those people out there that they love their partner. They love their husband. They love their wife. They want to be with this person. They're connected to this person. But do they really see themselves having sex with the same person for the rest of their life? I just think there's people out here that just like can't do that. It's like I eat steak every night, but sometimes I want chicken. I don't know. I guess that's a weird way of putting it. But like, I feel like there are people out here that just like, they're like every so often, I just want something different. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't know.
Like hall pass.
That's my take on it, but I can be completely wrong.
Not so much hall pass. I hear you though, Kel. And what I think
I get it.
It's got to be communication, though. It has to be. It can't be a one-sided thing. I know a lot of guys be like, "Yeah, I want a threesome. I want to bring in a girl or whatever." But what if your wife wants to bring in a dude? Are you willing to do that type of thing? So that's what I'm saying.
Probably not.
The communication has to be from the beginning. You got to talk about it in detail and just see exactly what you're trying to accomplish.
Right.
I think that's what
Because somebody can get hurt. You can open open this shit up and then it goes left.
Yeah.
So it's almost best if two people just come in like, hey, we want to live together, be together, possibly get a marriage license, but we want to have sex with other people.
But if you do it together, then it might work.
Oh, okay.
You know what? Right. But also I feel like there's a couple things. So like, for example, the threesome, right? There's a lot of women that bring up if I want another dude, first of all, you have a problem getting the hole in this and that. So there's no way that you want to be getting in the back door either. So there's a lot of women that bring that up, but you would never even ante up for that. So
that's real shit. That's real
spite?
shit.
You do it out of spite. I do it out of spite.
When it comes to an open relationship, I think we don't take into account the time frame. And we don't take into account that we're all going to be changing every day. So there could be something, and that's one thing married people don't talk about this much, is about how we all gradually change every day. And you have to basically reintroduce yourself to your spouse every few years. Like you have to be like, hey, this is me. This is what I like. Here I am, And having 3 people in a relationship, 4 people in a relationship, that can get messy. So I've seen where it works, but honestly, I've never seen a relationship. I have never seen somebody say, we've been in an open marriage for 10 years. I've never seen it.
Can I go back real quick to the threesome thing? Because we had talked about like with women and that, but I'm talking about for guys.
Right.
You had said, Marcus, like, there's a lot of dudes out here that be saying they want to have threesomes and stuff like that.
Right.
I'll be real with you. Like back in my younger days, like I've had a threesome before. Everyone's not built for that.
Right.
They're not, because like as the dude, you're essentially like facilitating and you're trying to make sure that everyone's involved, and it's exhausting. So like for a lot of dudes that say that shit, like
be careful what you ask for again. Yeah. Be careful.
Real shit. Be careful what you ask for, because a lot of dudes are not built for that.
So it's not a power play. I feel like that's a power play.
It is,
especially if you grew up watching porn.
If you can get the right type of women, Kale, it's a different type of situation. If you can get these,
I got these bitch. I got
the girls that are in the porn movies. If you can find somebody that's in that way and they're not really concerned about themselves and they're just there for you and the man, that could be a power thing. That could be an ego thing. But when it's supposed to be mutual, okay, I'm gonna do this time. It's gonna be me and the girls, and then it's gonna be you and the dudes. Everybody can't sign up for that.
And you can get addicted to pleasure, because there's some people that, like you said, there's men that just do that. And the moment is over, and then all you have is that memory, because it's not like people are signing up for that shit every day. Like, oh yeah, we're going to have a threesome. Oh yeah, we're going to have a threesome today. Like, it's exhausting. And like you said, when you're trying to keep up with everybody's feelings and making sure that everybody's getting a piece of the D, you know what I'm saying? It can be overwhelming. So I do agree with you. It's not what you think you sign up for. It's a lot of it's dealing with an extra person.
Right. I think people do it just to do it. Just because it became a
check it off
thing.
The list.
Right.
Yeah. I'm
going to do a threesome. I'm going to have a threesome. And maybe it's not what you thought it was going to be. Maybe it's not what you expected. Okay.
I don't think, like, even for some of these women out here that, like, because maybe they bring to their, and Tiffynee, tell me if I'm right or wrong, but like if their husband brings to the table, or boyfriend, are like, hey, I want to have a threesome, and just out of wanting to satisfy their man, their woman's like, okay, well, I'll just do it. You know what I'm saying? But like actually not be fully engaged or fully want to do it. I don't think there's a lot of women out here that could handle or would want to see their dude just knocking down another chick while they're sitting right there.
You're right. And I think like you said, a lot of people don't mentally prepare theirself for things. They go into it prematurely and don't even educate themselves or have a conversation like, what does this look like? Who's touching who? Are we allowed to do that? What's the off button? Tiana Taylor and her husband talked about it on the Breakfast Club about their system, and it actually works well, where it's an invitation thing, but it's really just a her and her thing where he gets to watch. And sometimes that's usually what a guy just wants. It's a visual thing. It's let me see, let me see somebody else do this, or let me see what you can do to them, and let me, play with myself while I watch. That's a conversation that you have. Now, I'll say, like, my husband and I have this conversation. We've never had a threesome in our relationship. We've had a threesome outside of our relationship, and only one. And this was in our younger days, but even that was difficult. Because I remember my situation, it was after the girl was too loud and she was making too much noise and stuff like that. It was
Shut up.
What is going on? Like, this is not, and you have to adjust yourself to things that you're not used to. So the that you make and the you're like, girl, shut up.
It's
like
too much.
You know what I'm saying?
Much,
And
I couldn't imagine that.
yeah.
But again, everybody's different in their relationship, and when people are looking for a spark, or they're, not.
If you're looking for a spark,
not,
get a motherfucking toy.
Not that everybody has to be desperate, but people are in search. Okay, I want to save my marriage, or I just want to spark, or
yes.
I'm bored. I don't want to leave my husband, so I'm going to communicate. I think that we should try this type of thing, and I mean, it's not for me, but
Marcus,
I get it.
I think we should try a threesome.
And let's talk about it if that's what you really want and that's where you're at.
If you do,
and it may not work, but you try yours, I try mine. We see where we end up, right? Fair. And that's what I try to do now.
Wait a minute. You try yours, I try mine. It would be
you try your threesome, and I would assume that's with the guy or girl, or kind of what are you saying here?
It would be us.
Okay.
It wouldn't be a separate thing. It would be
I know
together.
But I'm saying it would have to be two different ones, though.
How do you know she wants two guys?
Yeah. Okay, well, maybe you don't want two guys. Would you like?
Yeah, because that's like guys are like they're really into girl on girl shit.
They are.
Sometimes.
So
In most cases, yes.
Right.
If you're going off the porn, a lifestyle, Kale, right?
Right, because I doubt
you said it first.
Why are you directly me
Kale,
going like
that's
I'm
what
like
you
the
said,
porn
right?
expert because I said I watched porn as a teenager.
Okay,
don't label me
okay,
that.
so do you guys watch guy on guy porn?
No,
absolutely
See, that's
not.
like,
but,
come on now, but like,
And I
but I'm saying
really
some men have to be, or what's the word? They got to be mature enough. Everything's not one-sided. That's
You're
a young
right.
man's type of thing. Okay, I'm gonna have all these women in the bed, and my girl gonna come with me. But what if your girl
you still
wants to
see
bring
that
in a
in
dude?
fucking videos.
I know,
and shit.
but what if the girl wants to bring in a dude? Are you open to that? Or are you mature enough to handle that type of conversation? And most guys aren't. And I don't know if that's a fact, but that's just what I feel.
And think about it. It's like, even for the girl,
Am I
like
wrong,
you said,
Tiffany?
it's not what you expect. Just imagine being like a girl or a dude and you bring in another girl or a dude and you're like, this bitch is bad. No, it would go left immediately. I'd be like, get that bitch out of here. She's got to go.
Communication.
She's got to go.
Communicate. And you have to be at a place in your relationship is what I feel like. The communication has to be open. Okay, yeah, she's bad, but you know that I love you and this is where I'm at and this is what we're doing. This is something fun for us to do, or this is something for us to get our spark back. But I'm not looking to trade you in and bring in the person that's a part of the threesome.
What the
and I think that as a woman, and I get what you're saying, Jess, is that a lot of things come in that you're not expecting because you're like, I didn't know I was going to feel like this. Well, dang, she is really pretty. She pretty. And you're just, a lot of things start happening. We were at a pool party the other day. I'm very beautiful and I'm very successful. Other beautiful women walked in and I had to check my flesh because I was like, I got this unlocked. Like, it was like one of them things but it happens. And if you try to act like it doesn't exist, that's what's poisonous. But honestly, if you just and me and my husband had to have a conversation about it. Like, hey, I was feeling this. He's like, man, and I said, I know. I know, but I want you to know that these are real feelings that are going inside of me. Because if it does ever come to that conversation where we do want to bring somebody in just to have fun one night or whatever, those are things that we're going to have to talk about. And I need you comfortable enough with having the uncomfortable conversation, even if you did something with that person, right? Because that's what happened is it's like, well, I knew you was going to act like this. No, I'm not mad. Right. I'm just telling you everything I was feeling in that, because me suppressing that turns into something bad. And so I do feel that when you are like, there's a situation where this was a few years ago. My husband was like, well, do you think that we should swing? I was like, okay. I was like, let me find a couple. I was like, because here's what needs to happen. The guy has to be able to last in this walk. And because you're not going to sit up here and I know what a woman would get. Like, I'm not going to be waiting for you to get done pounding her. And I'm sitting here because she done busted in 2 minutes. And I'm like, and I'm mad. Right. So I was like,
that's the roll of the dice though. Like, sometimes when you, but I understand what you're saying is you got to do your research and you got to make sure that everything is lined up.
And in that, I found a couple. My husband was like, why did you find this couple? And I was like, because this person I've been with this person before and da-da-da-da-da. And this is something that I know this person, they're married, we're married. They don't want me. I don't want them. And I remember my husband was like, I think you're a little too enthusiastic about this.
Just like a guy. And that's what I'm talking about. But I would probably do the same thing though. I feel them. I understand though.
Right.
I understand. Right. Guys, we act all tough and all this stuff, but really when it comes down to it.
You don't want no smoke.
Nope. Yeah, you don't really want the smoke, but maybe. And I will take it like
fuck around, get left.
Step back. Me and you can go to a women's strip club, right? And I can get you dances. I can do all this stuff, and we laughing, and we eating wings, and we doing all this kind of stuff. But going to a guy strip club, I guess with you and you getting dances and doing all that kind of stuff, maybe.
Oh. Well, if you would have went to the strip club I was taken to on my 30th birthday, you would have probably snatched me and left.
Maybe, maybe not.
Was you getting flipped up, rub it down? I don't know.
Actually, I hid because I was so uncomfortable. But when somebody puts his full dick in a hot dog and then puts ketchup, mayo, and then a side of Lay's chips on a plate and presents it, you're going to hide.
I would have to respect the theatrics.
So you would have died. Because it's theatrics with guys.
As a guy.
Girls, it's straight. Yes. I mean, these guys had bedazzled. They had bedazzled coats.
But that's what I'm talking about. On the other side of it, guys, we sign up for all this stuff, and this is what we want. It sounds fun.
Full entertainment.
We come from a background of porn that is fake. It's a fantasy and all this kind of stuff. But when you really want to talk about, trying to respect your woman and letting her have her cake and eat it too, the same thing you're doing, it doesn't fly.
Right.
So, if there's something that you want to do, but your spouse doesn't want to do, and you're pretty...
Is this asking for a friend?
Adamant about this, and you're being respectful, what do you do if this is something that you really want, or you think you really want, and you're trying, you're asking, you're doing it nicely, and it just doesn't happen? Your spouse just really isn't game for it.
Asking for a friend.
What do you do?
Well, two things. You hire me.
Okay.
Because honestly, and I say that because I have to ask a lot of questions. Sometimes the thing that you want to do, what is it built off of, and where is it coming from? Because sometimes your partner needs to hear that. Sometimes your partner needs to hear the value in what you're trying to create. And then sometimes you need a better way to approach the situation. So you might think that you're coming up with clever ways or whatever, but there's better ways to say, I want to stick my finger in your butt.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Asking for
there are more intimate ways to share with somebody of something that you want to do to them if you're trying to create an experience. And sometimes we don't even come off like that. We just be like, I'm trying something. I'm trying to, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get something straight, you know, and you're like, man, boy, get out of here. And
right. Get up, get off.
Right. And
how about we try this?
But Tiffany, what if it's as simple as like, well, the reason I want to try this because it looks fun or it looks hot, so I want to try it.
That's not good
Is
enough.
that not like good enough?
That's not good enough. You're gonna have to run down some facts, some, I don't know.
Well, the other
empirical evidence. I have no idea, but you just can't come with it. I just want to do it just because.
Jess is right, because here's what happens. You're looking on the other side that somebody is fearful. And so it's just like if they're trying to get you. You and Jess, I think, posted something about her spending money on something and she didn't tell you.
A dog.
Right? It's like it's the uncomfortableness in that moment. And it's like, what do I do to create security? Sometimes we're just trying to create me getting a yes. And it's like, what can I do to kind of help this person know that I got you? Whatever, if you don't like it or whatever, we can stop and stuff like that. But there's a lot of men that don't even go into that like that, or women, you know, it's just, I want to do this and it's because of me. One of the worst things in a relationship is self-serving.
Ooh.
When you become a person that is a service to others, and I'm talking about to your partner, your spouse will be not reluctant to give you things. They will be like giving, like, oh my God, what can I do? Or whatever. But if you create that, like, I want to be serving to you. I want to create something for you. This is not about me. This is really me getting to know your body. This is really me getting to explore you. This is really getting me to understand different things that I wasn't taught and neither were you. Like going at it that way instead of just saying, girl, let me just, my finger in your butt, you could have an amazing orgasm. You can, but without the right explanation in that and the right comforting. And some people have to have that. Just like when you want somebody to try a new food. Taste this, babe. Nah, man, back up. Get out of here. I don't want that, right? You have to say something comforting. You have to say something securely that gets them to say, if I put this in my mouth, I'm not going to, you know what I'm saying? If I do something sexually, I'm not going to feel abused or abandoned or taken advantage of or something like that. I'm going to put you in a safe space. I got you, babe. And that's sometimes you have to understand is like making your partner feel secure. When I know that you're going to put your arm under me and give me a good deep stroke, right? I'm secure. But when you take me and turn me around, I might ask, wait, what's going on? Because I want to know that I'm safe.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Even if you pick me up and we're fucking, there's a thought in my mind. Please don't drop me.
Right.
I think this is a good spot to wrap it up. I'd like to thank sexologist Tiffany for joining us once again. Friend of the show. We always love having you. Tiffany, where can folks find you on social media? And if I know you're down in Texas, but do you have any like online like seminars or classes going on right now? I know your book is out. What you got going on?
So I don't even have a book up here, but you can catch me on social media on Instagram, Tiffynee Renee, and name is spelled differently as you see. I'm not on, honestly, I'm on, I do a talk show on Sundays on YouTube. You can catch me on there talking with Tiffany. I have my book out, sisisatyou.com. Actually will be coming out hopefully within the next year. Bro Is It You? And we'll be adding ego, pride to chapters to this. And my husband will be co-writing it with me.
Nice.
I will be launching a class actually in probably by February, the Master Mouth and the Splish Splash Masterclass, where you're learning about the vagina and the penis. And I mean, I give you all the things about the penis because there's a lot of women and men that don't know about ejaculation and erection and what happens and all that and what causes that. And definitely, I'm actually in March. I have my first conference, Sis Is It You, in Houston, Texas, and it will be down here. And so we'll be launching that. And so, yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. And I'm actually about to get started with teaching a lot of stuff. And hopefully I get put on at NASA. Yeah, I just told you that. So
yeah, you're talking about that.
So yeah.
Ooh, big
kind of network and stuff like that and get out there. So that's how you can reach me. I'm not really big on social media because I don't want to be like everybody else. So I want to be impactful and effective. So if I do have something to say, I'm going to say it. But if I don't, then you won't hear me and you won't see me. So that is what it is.
Word. Well, thanks again, Tiffynee, so much for joining
Thank
us.
you.
Of course, you can follow Marcus_Trufant on Instagram, Jessica_Trufant, myself, Media_Kels. Of course, follow the page, Truly Unruly _podcast on Instagram. Of course, you can listen to us on your favorite podcasting platform, anything from Spotify to Buzzsprout, Apple Podcasts, and everything in between. Of course, catch the visual on YouTube. Just subscribe to Marcus Trufant. Of course, leave a review, and of course, catch us every Sunday on the Converge Network. And till next time, y'all, Happy New Year
Happy New
and cheers.
Year.